Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do start, let's give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of events have happened. Now, we had Deku and what remains of the Justice League. Now, of the original 7, only one right now is left standing, or really believed to be left standing. Now, Batman was taken out first. That's what Wonder Woman Diana believes. Then, Manhunter and Hal fell. Superman fell sometime in between then and there. The Watchtower fell. Then, there's what happened to the remaining members. There's what happened to both Flash and Shazam. These two were very powerful. And that does leave her, the warrior. She was already put on guard, but her friends were not. And they all paid with their lives. Now, Diana is trying to understand what's going on. The Justice League, what remains of it, right now believe somebody is in control of Batman and what remains of the surviving members, possibly Batman and Superman. Now, if that's the case, this is very, very bad. The powers of Superman, the contingencies of Batman, and Batman technology? Yeah, the man's skills and paranoia will definitely cut out and win. However, there's one issue. Diana stands alone as one of the original 7. What remains of the League looks to her for help. And Deku? Deku and Barbara were trying to discover what happened to Scarecrow. Somebody left a message with all of the Joker's calling cards, and they're leaving that message directly to the Red Hood, or the Arkham Knight. Now, Deku is quite alarmed. Right now, though, he can't believe what he's hearing, can't believe what he's seeing, because Failsafe came to them. Failsafe came to investigate the Scarecrow, and his supposed, well, role. Now, it also talked to Deku and Barbara, and informed the two as to what's happening. Batman murdered and is believed to be wanted for both Barry Allen's and Shazam, Billy Batson's murders. Right now, Failsafe has evidence Batman is a killer, and that is very hard for them to believe. However, after everything that's been happening, it's starting to make a bit more sense. The puzzle they have put together, but the pieces are all wrong. At least, some of them. Now, while they are trying to pull that puzzle apart and put the pieces back, find what fits and what doesn't, we do currently have the Batman who laughs, he has been happily jamming pieces into the puzzle. He has been happily just forcing pieces to fit, and shaping the ones that don't. Now, while the Batman who laughs is currently cutting a piece to fit, we currently have Deku. Deku sits at the Batcave. He has been doing quite a lot. 6 days. 6 days since Barry Allen and Billy Batson died. He saw both crime scenes. He went there. He can still smell the ice melting and the blood in the air. He can still smell a lot. The way the wood splintered, it practically burned on Iris's back. The way everything happened. I mean, even that smell in the air at the house Billy was in. Poisoned. The boy was killed by poison. Him and 7 other people. Only 6 of them believed to be children, of varying ages. And that disturbs Deku. Billy Batson could have been simple and easy. It's kind of fucked up to say, but a simple bullet. I mean, the kid walking down the street just walk up and... I mean, you get the picture. He doesn't have to paint it so vividly, but it would have just been easier. I mean, catch him off guard. The Wisdom of Solomon only activates whenever he's in the Shazam persona, right? So he has no early warning system, nothing to prevent just a random sudden attack. The boy would just be human. And that does disturb Deku. The person left a message. 7 particularly. 7 members. 7 people. 7 fallen. But then there's also the fact that 6 of them were children. So what does that mean? This has to mean something. There's a pattern there. But with Barry added to the mix, that's only 8 victims. 6, 7, 8. Okay, so wait a second. Right now Deku gonna do a few things. Right now Deku is gonna check communications. And he does then gonna start doing a lot. He goes to overlay a map of Gotham. And then he goes to find the Scarecrow. The exact building he died in. When he goes to find where Metropolis, they have the crashed watchtower. He puts the 2 dots together. And then Deku just starts to look on the map. Him wondering. Okay, so Ra's al Ghul. It's probably nothing, but he went to go see Bruce. No. What exactly would be the next target? The next thing? Okay, so computer. Yes. Search for a place on both sides. They do connect perfectly with the 2 locations I have placed. Searching. Deku gonna don't wait. And 2 locations are gonna pop up. Right now, one out in the middle of the ocean. And another, it points towards where the Hall of Justice is. Or the first location that Justice League really formed. The Mount Justice location. And Deku notices if his eyes won't widen. Atlantis is in danger. Or Mount Justice. No. Okay. The Titans. Deku don't jump up. Tim. And that's where his mind is going to go. I'm going to turn. And right now he's going to at least send out a message to the League. However, the moment Deku hears it start talking, there's a number of things that happen. Batman, yeah. He wanted the League blind, chasing around their own tails. So what did he do? He turned communications off. And Deku, he finds that he's talking on an empty channel. A channel that doesn't exist. And that's where things are a bit more complicated. Deku gonna sit back down as a message to play. And Degu's gonna hear it. Now, Deku hears the tune. The tune he heard whistled in Arkham as the footsteps echo. And Deku doesn't have it play in his mind. It plays like a sadistic lullaby. It plays like an arsonist lullaby. It plays pain. The feeling he gets on his skin. The flames kissing at him. He remembers it. And that's where Deku, he just won't stare up. Him with anger. As right now Bruce Wayne does a step out, expressing. He's so sorry to send Izuku down a trip of memory lane, but he does want to talk. Chat? Bruce. Not a live feed, son. Not a live feed. Though, I'm assuming you're watching. I do want you to watch, my dear old boy. My baby boy. The rat I picked up off the streets of Arkham. Bruce's gonna turn. I'm gonna actually step into the room. Him expressing. Arkham Asylum. A place full of inmates. Place full of people he locked up. Hugo Strange offered him a room here once. He offered him a comfy, padded cell. And honestly, he's gotta say, the camera gonna pan over. As right now Hugo Strange is held up by his hands, and at least 2 other knives pinning his shoulders into place. As the man to sit there with duct tape covering his mouth, and a heavy concussion, him right now sitting there with a bleeding temple. As they just stare on, Bruce stepping into the room. He made it quite simple, and quite clear. Right now he'll find that his communicator does work. However, that's only for family networks, family connections. So, line 1 through 4 are all active. However, the Justice League's communications, yeah, they're all gone. He will tell him this, though. The person in charge tonight, the person who wants him to come, bring the family, they want to make things quite clear. They want to show that everything that's been done, everything they've been doing, every tiny little movement, it's been for something. So, he wants Izuku to understand. He's going to burn down the asylum tonight. Tonight is a night to rejoice. However, it is not a night for fear. He has finally seen the error, the problem with his methods, and he understands. He might be afraid, but he's also good. But he's not that good. So, meet him at Mount Justice. He's assuming he put the pieces together. He's assuming he did what Batman does. Think. Get into that mind state of looking for little details. So, what next? What does he have planned? Where is he going to go? He'll tell him. He'll go home. Now, the message just stopped playing. And they can just go to someone, stand up. Him going to walk towards the car and going to actually press onto his ear. As he is at least going to send out messages to everyone. And right now, the Bat family, they're quite surprised. League communications have been quiet. At least that's what they thought. However, the moment the family line was used, everyone realized a few things. Someone cut off communications. They made Batman do it. And Batman, he is being manipulated. And Deku's trying to do what he can. He's tried to get Diana's information, pull it up. But the computer, it has a safeguard, a password, one to access secure files. Deku might have high level clearance, but he doesn't have Batman level clearance. And the password was a date. But it wasn't the one Deku thought it was. The one that made Batman truly be born. On that lonely night in the alleyway, where 2 shots rang out and a boy watched the pearls fall, haunted by that image, barely able to remember his mother's face, the scream of his father, the way he tried to run forwards and fight. All he remembers is watching those pearls fall, the string break, and counting them, one by one, roll away. That's all he remembers. And right now, Deku, as he thinks about Bruce Wayne, as he thinks about what that answer might be, he wonders. He thinks. He wants to know what Bruce might be hiding. All of it. Bruce hid so much. And right now we do actually have Failsafe. Failsafe, he tried to do a lot. Whenever communications were found to be down, he tried to work to restore them. Do what he could. However, the networks for communications, at least the secret satellites hidden around the world, they've all been shut off, turned off, and their orbits are slowly going to be altered over the course of time. They're going to fall to the Earth one day, all of them slowly but steadily, and hopefully that will distract the heroes, the ones who see it at least. So, what now, what now? Failsafe needs to reconnect certain strings and pull some wires. However, that will take time. And the Bat Family don't really have a lot of time. Deku tried to find Bruce Wayne. And Bruce Wayne, he proved to be elusive. However, there was Batman. Batman was loud and proud. And oh boy, he made an entrance. Now, as Deku and Barbara, they pulled up on the asylum, watching as it is going to burst into flames. There actually is Tim. Tim is going to radio back. Right now, him up in the air with the Batplane, about exactly what's been going on, what he sees from above. And he's got to say, it looks bad. Possibly started in the East Wing, somewhere somewhere where it could climb. And Deku is going to tell them. He knows where Bruce put the message at. He knows the best place for it to be. It's the abandoned wing, built lower. That's the fire started. However, he's worried. Guys, get back in the car. What? Tim, what are you talking about? Get back in the car now. Right now, Deku going to turn. Him going to climb back inside, and so does Barbara. And the moment the door is going to close, there actually is the Batmobile, where Bruce Wayne, he revved up the engine and put it in a drive. Him going to turn and flip every single button that involved anything with the car going faster. Now, right now the Batmobile just going to burst itself forwards with a massive amount of speed as the boosters were activated. And the Batmobile does come smash directly through multiple burning wings of the asylum. It's going to jump into the air and right now go up. It smashing directly through the cement wall that separated the wall on the outside of Arkham and the inside. Now, right now that wall is destroyed. The Batmobile smashing onto the other one and going backwards, ass up. Now, right now the Batmobile does a spin and turn. It catapulting its way down the street as there actually is Batman inside, who does get somewhat laugh maniacally as he is strapped to his chair with a pillow duct taped to the back of his head. Now, the Batman who laughs is having quite a bit of fun, and right now directly confronting the family, that's got to be a lot more fun. Right now, Bruce going to put the car in a drive, him going to turn and press a button, as there actually is where an explosion is set off. The Batmobile being sent flying up into the air and smashing back down, perfect again. And Bruce is going to turn, going to press that button again, as there actually is another piece of equipment. It going to bolt out of the top and going to start sending off another explosive. And Bruce, he's going to start driving away. As right now Deku, he does actually going to put the car in a drive and spin the wheel. Him going to drift the Batmobile, smash it into a concrete wall, and turn, driving forwards onto the road. As Barbara just tries to tell him to calm down. And Deku, he does actually take control of the situation, pressing on the comm system, telling them, Tim, work alone on Channel 4. Duke, Harper, pursue. Channel 2. They'll stay on Channel 1. And there actually is Bruce. Bruce does get somewhat scowl. He's a bit annoyed. He can't listen in now. That's no fun. That being where Bruce does hit the brakes. Him going to stop and put the car into reverse. As right now they're actually going to round a corner and rear end into the Batmobile. Him smashing directly into it and going jolting forwards in his seat. As Bruce is actually going to activate the thrusters and begin to actually burn away at the front of the car. And Deku and Barbara, the two dudes bring up their hands. As right under the glass and everything protective inside the Batmobile does keep them alive. However, the heat, yeah, it's definitely getting toasty in here. Now, Bruce is going to do that, and when the bat plane does come swinging back around again, there actually is Tim. He goes to blast Ricky out. Him going to flip back to Channel 1 and give them a heads up. Move! Reverse! This being where the two throw the car in reverse and going to actually move backwards. Them going to do so as there actually is the Batmobile. It moves into place and gets struck. It's not even damaged. As right now it just continue backing up. And right now, there actually is Batman, or Bruce Wayne, whoever you prefer, the psycho in the driver's seat. He goes to put it back in gear and throw himself forwards, driving fast and away, as the two do to pursue. Right now, both Duke and Harper moving past them on bikes. And Deku, he actually does a flip to line 5, or line 4, I don't remember which one, and tell the both of them, careful, whoever's inside that car, they know it, but they clearly don't know what exactly they're doing. So, they're definitely out for blood. Be careful, both of them. Him flipping back. And Bruce is going to flip back directly to line 1. Him is going to put his voice directly in where it wants to be. He finds the right... There we go. Him is going to open up a line, expressing on all channels. He's in the Batmobile. He needs help. And right now, the two, or all of them, are surprised. The fact that Bruce is broadcasting on all channels, it's not good. But right now there's actually a sinister voice. A voice Deku doesn't recognize. every one of them recognize. And he goes to cut through. He wants them all to know he's having fun. The voice of the Joker being there. And it doesn't make sense. How? When? No, 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 no. Now, the users speed up. I don't know, Barbara, does it take notice of that? As Bruce is going to continue, saying like the Joker, he wants the family to know. He didn't quite like their last battle and escapade, so he took over Bruce Wayne's body. And what he does plan to do after all of this is quite simple. He plans to go after Jim Gordon. See how that does turn out. See how that does play out. How does Barbara feel about all that? I mean, he knows that he's done quite a few things in the past, but maybe that will make up for it, right? No more going after the daughter. No more watching the father see what happens to his baby girl. Watch the way he hurts her. He knows how she felt about him. She doesn't have to try and hide it. She doesn't have to. Her bring her fist out, smashing Deku into the radio. And Deku does look down. The radio going to at least say, it. Deku gonna hear it. I'm gonna turn to Barbara. As Barbara, she's gonna turn directly to Deku. And Deku's gonna bring his hand up, turning on his earpiece. And he doesn't hear the Joker continue. And all of that. I mean, he could have had a cigarette afterwards. Now, there actually is Tim. Tim's gonna scream out. Him actually gonna fire off more things to the Batmobile. And Deku's gonna see it. Right now overhead, there are 4 missiles. And Tim Drake just made a mistake. As right now there actually is, with the Batmobile, it is struck as it went over a highway. The highway beginning to collapse. And whenever that does actually happen behind that Batmobile, it goes to run, go fast. The highway beginning to collapse. And Tim Drake, he goes to see his mistake. As right now while there is a narrow gap, it's still a big gap. And as the Batmobile is to climb up the highway, it goes to actually have empty space underneath it. And a car that weighs literal tons. Yeah, not a good combination. No traction to run from the fall. Nothing. And the Batmobile isn't flying through the air. As right now, Deku, him and Barbara, they felt the smash. They smashed into the bottom of the highway. And then they went falling down. And right now the car smashes into something. The two rolling and falling. As Deku and Barbara, the two do somewhat sit there. Them upside down and partially stuck in water. Okay. You guys okay? Hello? Anyone? Tim, don't ever do what you just did. You guys are alright. Do I need to swing back around and get you? Are they still in pursuit? Yeah, they got ahead of him. But they're trying to close up the highway. Tim, I'm sorry. You... God damn it, Barbara. What did he... I'm sorry. He got in my head and... Barbara, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Right now, Barbara's blood going to run cold. And she's going to do one thing. She's going to at least look down. Her going to press a button. As the car is going to flip over. As the device on the top of this Batmobile is going to activate. It flipping the car over and onto its side. And as the car, it actually can actually shoot a line. It is actually land into something and anchor itself. The car being pulled out from the side. As Deku, he actually does a turn to Barbara. Her ask him to move. And Barbara does going to do one thing. She goes to spin the Batmobile around. Her going to put her foot down and at least put it into command. As the Batmobile does have the seats she's sitting in break apart and fall into a smaller spot that is going to open up. And Barbara, she deploys a bat bike. Now, Deku does going to at least turn and do a few things. Him going to take back control. As the actions of the Batmobile, it is going to register the difference. And Deku does at least press a few more buttons. The Batmobile going to start to collapse and make a more compact design. As Deku, he does then going to put the car into drive. Him going to hear the engine rev up as if he's driving a hot rod. Now, Barbara deployed, and right now the bat bike she's in, it is there, moving fast down the highway. It is covered in armor, and right now Barbara goes to shift into the next gear, her moving forwards and bring her hands out, before she is trying to tell the bike about the next objective, and the bike is going to listen. Right now her going to gain more and more ground, as there actually is Deku. Deku is speeding along, and he's trying to avoid traffic. There aren't a lot of cars left on the highway. They closed it down, most of it, but people are still traveling, moving, getting through. No, shit. The operation isn't successful. They haven't got enough of it closed. Too many civilians. That on Deku's mind. And Deku just gonna hit the one thing he doesn't want to. Not a car, a traffic jam. Now, Deku, he's annoyed. And as they try to radio for Tim, he wants Tim to pick up the Batmobile and carry it out of the traffic. Get him someplace out in the open. And right now Tim is gonna back off. Him breaking away the chase from the other Batmobile. And Deku is gonna wait. Him trying to think about what to do. And vehicles are trying to get out of the way for him. But Deku's already made a decision. If he's dropped on an open highway, not about a fourth of a mile covered in cars, he'll have a better chance. All he can do is sit and wait. And there actually is Barbara. Barbara is going to catch up. And whenever both Harper and Duke do back off of the Batmobile, she has to at least try to get some information. The two are trying to tell her on the other line about what they found and what the plan might be. And Barbara just tried to blast, her setting out the weapons in her bike directly into the Batmobile and attacking it. That car is practically indestructible, and these weapons can destroy practically anything. So there is the conundrum. Now, Bruce is going to hit the brakes. Barbara going to have to break away whenever the car goes flying backwards towards them. Now, Barbara was able to dodge, her moving out in front of the Batmobile, as Bruce is going to start to give chase directly to his family. And the family, they speed up, especially Duke whenever he almost got sent flying off of his bike. And the Batmobile, it kept speeding up more and more. But right now Duke, he kept activating his nitrous. And the family, they were left as the prey. And Barbara was put in harm's way. Now, there actually is the Batmobile, which is going to get dropped on the highway, empty. And Deku just to at least give the Batmobile everything she's got. Pedal to the metal all the way. No civilians, no need for safety. Not even his own. Now, the car just started to at least move forwards fast. And there actually is Tim. Tim put the Batwing directly as fast as it could. And tried to catch up. It had GPS. It had trackers. Everything. He can't track the other Batmobile. He's tried. But he can track them. And he does always try to tell Deku where they are. And Deku just try to make the appropriate shortcuts. Now, with that being said, right now Tim is trying to figure out what to do. And someone does get a cut in, trying to ask about exactly what's been happening. Ask about exactly what the hell has been going on. And Deku does at least express, she picked a hell of a time to get back in. What is happening? Yeah, I'm going to try and give you the cliff notes. Right now, I'm going over 300 miles an hour. I'm chasing a Batmobile. We're trying to find Bruce, and we think we may have found him. Where are you guys at? Can't tell you. Last sign I saw said... shit. He's heading for Metropolis. Fucking hell. I'll try and cut him off. Alert anyone you can. Yeah, could you do that? Communications are down for the entire league. Damn it. How are you speaking to me then? Failsafe. Okay. Ask Failsafe a question for me, and then come. Cut him off. What would Failsafe do if he was in a stolen Batmobile? Or someone stole a Batmobile and was going after him? Or how about if he was pursuing a stolen Batmobile with a killer Batman? What would he do? And Failsafe, he does get these messages relayed to him. him trying to give the answer to this conundrum. Now, while Deku is currently pedal to the metal chasing, the reactions of voices that cut in on his line. Him hearing it. As Deku does get a listen. The voice of Bruce Wayne. And what sounds like the Joker. The Joker and Bruce. Almost like the same person. However, Deku, he doesn't listen to the words. He doesn't listen to anything. As right now his controls, they locked up. Now, Deku's alarmed. As right now the radio doesn't express. He was such a dear failure as a son. And the car does have all of its brakes hit. The car being sent flying forwards and tumbling. As Bruce Wayne does a listen, hearing the crash, crash, crash over and over. The car continuously rolling, before finally arriving into a ditch. Now, Bruce has set a few things off. And the car, yeah. It is left in a pile of rubble. And Deku, he is alive. Don't get me wrong. But he is definitely shaken by this experience. Now, with that being said, Deku does lay there. Him bleeding from his head, as right now he does lay there upside down. He lays there hanging from the ceiling, hanging from his seat. And right now Bruce Wayne, he does gonna bring his hand out, grabbing onto his milkshake and taking a sip. One down, 4 to go. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.